Alright guys, so in this video we'll be updating record. In previous video we have learned that how we can fetch record from database, but in this video we'll be just using some line of code to update record, such as I want to update this one, serial number 2, name Mehru, designer, and that I want to update this record. For that I'll do some coding, but before doing that, if you have not accessed this playlist to PHP tutorials, then access it, and if you're a beginner, then start from this video 1, lecture 1, PHP lecture 1, how to install XAMPP server on Windows 10, then all the tutorials. So now it's time to jump into VS Code, and after that let me create here a new file by the name of tut11, okay, not this one, tut11 underscore, and let me give it a name update.php. So first let me zoom in. So what I will do in previous video while fetching record, I will simply, but first let me within this 11 tutorial use here the basic syntax of PHP. Okay, within this I will copy something such as connection. First I will copy this, and we are familiar with all these stuffs. We are using all this stuff to connect to database. The second thing I will do, I'll copy this. We have used these lines of coding for fetching record from database. So in this tutorial we'll be fetching record as well before updating it. So I will paste it right here. Now these two things let me explain if you are new for this video. So these lines of codings, these are connection. We have used MySQL connect, it will connect to database. After that we have just checked if there is no connection, then display this message connection failed, but if connection occurs successfully, then display this message. After that we have used query, and these classes, clause, or you can say keys or keywords. We have a database by the name of employees database, and within this employee database we have a table, employees table. We are going to fetch record from this table, and after that we have run query. As you can see here, MySQL query. After that I have just checked total number of rows, and for that I have used this MySQL num rows. It will return the total number of values, that how many rows in your table there exist. And finally we have checked the number that we have stored, the total number of rows. If it is greater, means we have rows, we have existed rows in our table from 1 to up to so on, and we have checked it, and we have run a loop because there are so many rows, so that we can grab all the rows one by one by using MySQL fetch associate function. And after that we have formatted the result, and we have printed. So what will happen after that? We will update. So let me update record in database table. So I will use the same thing. There will be no logic. We'll be using the same thing. We'll be using this line as well, Control C. So let me paste it right here, but I will also use SQL variable for my query, and I'll be using the same thing, but this time we'll be using update keyword. And after that, within double stick I'll be pausing. But let me show you, if you are a beginner and you can't remember things such as this one, you can't remember how to update, and you can't remember update. After that there are so many lines, so you just go to your my PHP admin, and here make some changes, such as I want to change this John, or such as Mehru, I want to change Mehru rule. Mehru here designer, I want to update is designing to hacker, and enter. As you can see, it says one row affected. Now at the bottom in the console it has generated me the query, so just copy it. You don't need to type always, but you should remember it. You should remember this query. So just paste. Now let me explain the things. And make. First we have used update, then we have specified the table name that I want to update it record within this table. After that I have used set keyword. What it will do? It will change this a hacker within the rule column, this one. I've specified the rule column within the value hacker. After that, this is very important part, where clause. We call this where clause. I told my compiler or my query that update employees table and set rule within rule column this value hacker, but on the basis of, you don't need to write it again, you can keep it as well, but you can remove it as well. So I told that on the basis of serial number 2. Okay, after that I have run the query. Now let me check if the result means our record is updated. Then just echo record has successfully updated in DB. After that semicolon, but there is no that means we failed to update a record. Then we'll be using else, and within this I'll be printing sorry, we failed to update record. Okay, let me control S and let me show you, but first you need to open new tab and type their local host. After that, the folder in which you are doing all your tutorials, so enter that, and we have this tut 11 update PHP. Let me scroll up or zoom in, but okay, let me click on it. So I'll click on it. As you can see, there is an error. It says syntax error, unexpected variable result on line 33. Great. Again we have me semicolon. Okay, here. Okay, not here, here. So control S, go to your browser and reload. As you can see, first we have fetched all these records, but here you can see hacker. Okay, let me zoom in. We have changed the rule value of Mehru on the basis of serial number 2, and first one was designer. Now here it is hacker. And after that, the finally we have printed record has successfully updated. There should be updated. So let me change it. It should be updated because it is present perfect tense, so it should be updated, third form. Okay, so after that we have display this message. Now let's check. Go to your MyPHP and zoom out. Now just reload it as well. As you can see here, hacker. Now, if I want to update John, so I will specify 3. Or if I want to update assistance for Kashif, so I will specify 4. Okay, I can also specify name, so let me do it as well. So I will say set name. The name will be no, this one not. Let me zoom in. So Control Z. And there should be name, and there should be single quote or such as Kashif. Let me check the spelling. Okay, Kashif. So now this time we are going to update rule of hacker, and this should be hacker 1 because one already updated. I am going to tell my compiler that I am update this record on the basis of name, and the name is Kashif. So what will happen? But first let me Control S, go to your browser, and where are you? Reload it. This time nothing happened. The record has successfully updated, but as you can see here, hello Kashif assistant. What happened here? Let me show you. There. So if I reload it, as you can see here, change updated record Kashif hacker 1. Now if I reload it here, this time we have changed. So you have to update. If you want to update any record on the basis of name, first you need to update it right here. After that you can update from there. So you can use, in most cases we use serial number because it is primary. It can be your rule number, it can be your serial number because it is primary. So in most cases we use this. You can use another attribute as well, or column. So we have learned how to update. Now let me show you another thing. So if I print this result before checking this condition, such as echo, and here but no, not echo, just let me declare another variable affected. Now this time I want to check how many rows has been affected after updating the record. So for that I will use MySQL underscore affected rows, and it will take a parameter of connection database, and after that I will just print affected rows, or and I will print concatenating $sign affect. What will happen? This function MySQL affected rows will return the number of rows that has been affected, that has been updated. So Control S. Now this time it should be hacker2, otherwise it will say that it is already updated. So reload. As you can see, affected rows are 0. Record has successfully updated in database. So let me make changes here. This one will be from this time, suppose hacker 4, and enter. 1 row affected. Now let me reload it here. As you can see, hacker 4, and this there 1. Affected row are 1 because we have updated only 1 row, as here printed 1. So we have learned how to update record in database using couple of lines coding. Just these lines, mostly these 2 lines. These are just for checking. So if you haven't subscribed Coding World, subscribe it. If you have any doubt, then you can ask it in the below comments section. So see you in the next video.